Trump is basically a real estate businessman. His Middle East envoy, Witkoff, is also a real estate businessman. So if Trump thinks that he can do that with the Palestinian people now, he's mistaken because
So when it comes to international affairs and West Asian studies, the major issue everyone is looking at currently is Gaza and all the states US President Donald Trump is making. So he is planning to create a different kind of a city in Gaza, and he is threatening entire West Asia. Why he is doing that, and what is he going to be successful in his plan?
Trump is basically a real estate businessman. And his Middle East envoy, Witkoff, is also a real estate businessman. So when Trump sees Gaza with all the ruined buildings, etc., the immediate urge is to just to make the land, clear everything, and construct. He doesn't mind about the people. That's not his concern.
Yes.
This is similar to the late 19th century European Zionists who looked at Palestine as a land without people, for a people without land. That Zionist slogan, we remember. It's not that those European Jewish leaders did not know that there are people in Palestine. They know very well there are people. But it doesn't matter. So they can treat it as a people without land.
Yes.
Trump is, in a way, reminding us of the same mentality that the Palestinians do not matter. And his vision of this kind of a land facing the sea is for creating a Riviera, as he said, in a seaside resort kind of thing, by sending all the Palestinians to Egypt or Jordan or Saudi Arabia, wherever he can. But he is terribly mistaken, I think, because through the whole last 1 century's process of colonizing Palestine and the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, and then capturing all of historical Palestine in 1967 war, what Israel was thinking about was to send the Palestinians out, as they did in 1948 in the historical Palestine, which became Israel. So they thought that that can be done in the West Bank and Gaza and East Jerusalem and so on and so forth. They were not successful until now to send all Palestinians out of all these lands of Palestine. So if Trump, with 1 century's work, that was not possible, with all the American assistance that they've got. So if Trump thinks that he can do that with the Palestinian people now, he's mistaken, because for Palestinians, their relationship with their land is something very unique. Because every inch of land is important, because everything is occupied. They lost so much in 1948, and therefore they consider land as something that is very precious to their very identity and existence. So I don't think he can be successful in that.
But there are arguments, especially pro-Israeli writers and thinkers. And I came across one article by Sathanand Thume yesterday, and he was equating the same with India's partition and whatever happened with the Soviet Union, where people left. So he was saying that if they can do that for the sake of the peace process in Middle East, forgetting all what the Israeli occupation or Israeli aggression is doing, they were not just Dhume, many others arguing that, okay, this is a possible idea. Is it a possible thing, like where you just shift the people from one area to other area?
This whole point of establishing a Palestinian entity in Jordan was an old American idea.
Okay.
That's nothing new. And because Egypt and Jordan receives a whole lot of American aid, military aid for Egypt, that's extremely significant. So Trump thinks that he can twist the arms of both the King of Jordan and seize his government. Saudi Arabia is a close friend of Trump, as you know. Trump's own son-in-law being involved in lots of investments, so on and so forth.
Gerard Kushner.
So what we have seen historically is the Palestinians themselves finding the Arab governments as not very dependable,
Yeah.
to say the least, or the other way around also, because what happened in Jordan in the early 70s, the Black September, etc., violence against Palestinian refugees and so on and so forth. That's not the case with Arab people. They are with the Palestinians. But Arab governments, the very idea of Palestinian nationalism strengthening and becoming much more radical in the 1960s, especially after the 67 war, when the Palestinians thought that these Arab countries could not even protect their own lands. Israel occupied the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt, the West Bank, again where Jordan had some say, and Golan Heights of Syria. Major Arab countries lost their lands. So they could not defend their own land, let alone liberating Palestine. So that is why Palestinians started taking things in their own hands. Until then, it was through the Arab League and some coordination with Arab countries that Palestinians were waging their struggle. But they became much more independent, having their own struggle, and so on and so forth. The fear that these Arab governments can come down and have some relations, give some concession to Trump. Whether Palestinians will do that, that's what I was mentioning. Kind of political thinking, their own Palestinian national liberation movement as such. The ideology of whether secular or Islamic Palestinian organizations, this is not at all an accepted idea.